Hello and welcome back to this week's vlog. I'm Rhian Osborne from Not Just Backs Osteopathy, and really this week I just want to reiterate to people that we are actually open. Lots of people are surprised to find that we're still open, but we are considered as essential workers and always have been, and didn't have to shut from day one back in March. Some people actually are still worried and nervous about coming in, which is understandable, especially if you've been shut away and protecting yourself for such a long time. But we also get people coming in who have been shielding and say, oh, actually, I don't know what I was worried about, because you've got so many measures in place that I feel really safe coming in. So that's lovely to hear from our patients. We have done a lot of implementing. Obviously, back in March, when most businesses shut, we could have stayed open. The government told us not to shut, but information was got to us too slowly. And at that point, we could only really treat key workers and emergencies. So really, realistically, I don't know how viable business would have been back then. And, everybody was scared and didn't know the nature of the beast. This time, we know exactly what's going on. We know that in Wiltshire, it's been a lot less. And so we've implemented, since we started back in June, all the guidance that Public Health England has put out. And there's then diluted and given to us, distributed to us by the Institute of Osteopathy, and we have put in place. We've tested it and then rejigged everything to suit, so it fits in with our way of practice life. And so, we've got the pre-screening of the patient. So we phone you the day before to double check that you are actually feeling well. We don't want anybody with any symptoms of any kind coming in. So it just eradicates any element of illness, because sometimes COVID can be slightly erratic, especially in children. It's presenting in different ways. We don't actually have cleaners in the practice. We do all the cleaning ourselves. And I do a lot of deep cleans too throughout the week. So, we want to keep ourselves safe as well as you. So we've taken over that job because, it is a priority at the moment. Obviously, it always has been, but not quite as much as it is now. So that's another step. Obviously, the osteopaths wear PPE. We wear masks, aprons, gloves. We risk assess for visors, but because people aren't coming in with any illness, we actually don't then have to wear them. We are open to all patients, so even the extremely vulnerable are allowed out in this lockdown. So you can come in if you feel that you are really in need of an appointment, then come in. There will be, speak to the receptionist, because obviously we try and see you the first appointment of the day, so that the night before everything would have been cleaned, and then it's cleaned again in the morning, and overnight the coronavirus particles would have settled, so they would have been wiped away the following day. So the first one of the day is probably the safest appointment you could have for the extremely vulnerable, and those are the people with poor immune systems. So those that are on drugs that have reduced their immunity, mainly, and obviously people with very severe lung issues and heart problems. So what else do? We also asked that patients do not touch much in the practice. All they need to do is ring the doorbell. We open doors for them, so they can just walk in to the treatment room, sit down, which is socially distanced from the osteopath. So we stay as far away as we can from you until we need to treat you. And then we also keep you away from the receptionist as much as possible, apart from making an appointment at the end. So everything else is done. And we keep you away from other patients that are in the practice as well. So we stagger our appointments. So hopefully you don't end up clashing too much with somebody else as well. So there's loads of things that have been done to keep you safe for coming in for an appointment. And as yet, touch wood, none of our staff have been ill. So so hopefully this will reassure those people who are slightly wary about coming in. But as I say, if you're suffering, then, you know, please do come on and phone us and come in and have an appointment, because as you know, your health is more important. If you're suffering with pain, then you know, you're going to be lowered, you can't move around as much, so you're slightly more prone to catching chesty bugs because you're not moving so much because you're in pain. So so yeah, so that's all I wanted to say this week. We are open for business, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.